This is a hydrogen-powered car with a fuel cell. You have a very impressive acceleration when you launch the vehicle. It's not tapping into the fossil fuel. It taps into hydrogen as an energy carrier, and we use a fuel cell, which is a technology where you convert the hydrogen and oxygen out of the air into water and, very important for us, into electricity to drive the vehicle. Looking at the technology, that is a new technology, and you always start with the first demonstration vehicles, and the next step, which is the very important one, is to get them in customer hands.
Hydrogen as a storage mechanism is a terrible storage mechanism. It's extremely energy inefficient to create hydrogen, and then it is a lousy means of storing energy. First of all, hydrogen is not naturally occurring. Okay, not on Earth anyway. So you have to get the hydrogen from somewhere. So you say, where are you going to get the hydrogen? Well, you can take natural gas, which is CH4, chop the carbon off, and have your hydrogen. But then you're just using natural gas. Or you could say, well, let's split water with electrolysis. That's very inefficient. You generate an enormous amount of heat when you do that. So then after you split the water, you've got to separate out the hydrogen and oxygen. You've got to take the hydrogen, you've got to pressurize the hydrogen or liquefy it, which also takes a lot of energy. That whole cycle is extremely energy inefficient. It's much better, rather than applying electricity to split the water, to charge a battery pack. It's like 3 or 4 times more efficient. So it's lousy as an energy storage mechanism, and it's lousy from the standpoint of creating it. It's energy inefficient. It's just bad. And then there's no bloody distribution infrastructure. Now you compare that to electricity.
Just before summer 2008, the European Commission announced a new partnership with, let's say, the hydrogen industry, of which the car industry is an important partner, to throw many hundreds of millions of subsidies again at hydrogen as a fuel. That's one example of the subsidies that the industry is enjoying. Unfortunately, we are seeing much less action in the field of, let's say, hybridization, the move to plug-in hybrids, and also the move to electric cars, because I think most analysts in the industry, and we also agree that the transition to electricity holds much more promise than the transition to hydrogen.
Ikea is using this vehicle for doing standard jobs. It is in customer hands, and we get the feedback from this cooperation.
Is there a date set for production of these vehicles so that I can buy one in a dealership?
We don't talk about introduction dates right now. We are working on being fast to the market, and it is something where the infrastructure and the development, the production development of the fuel cell powered vehicle has to go on.
But no specific date for a hydrogen vehicle?
No specific date, and it is something that we are absolutely convinced this will come for sure. But we are not ready to announce a production date of a vehicle right now.
But is there sort of like an idea that it will happen in, say, 5 years or 10 years or 20 years? Or?
Don't talk about a production date right now.
Well, if one were to be cynical about it, you'd say they don't really have an answer, so they have to pick a technology that's always 10 years away, and that allows them to, for the critics, say, what are you doing about the future? Oh, we work on hydrogen. It's 10 years away, and except that every year it's always 10 years away because it'll never succeed in any kind of production situation.